So just finally then, looking back over your life, what are your achievements that you're proudest of, Ken?
Well, obviously, from the fact that I started off as the son of a crane driver, and in fact, I was asked. I was when I was on the Supreme Court. I heard this case, Dillon and the Baltic Shipping Company, about the sinking of the Mikhail Lermontov Russian. I suppose in many ways that was the most satisfying case I did, because I was able to award a lot of damages to really thoroughly decent people who'd suffered near-death experiences without any fault of their own. But I think, if I could use an anecdote, I then had to take evidence on commission in South Australia, and the Chief Justice of South Australia allowed me to use a courtroom in his court. I knew them all pretty well by that stage, and the Chief Justice of Victoria said that I could use his court, one of his courts, to take evidence down there. But as I was walking back from the Supreme Court of Victoria, having sat in those hallowed halls, because, you know, there's a very strong sense of dignity with the court in Victoria, and the way the barristers treat the court, I noticed that when I was down there. Not that I'm not saying the bar up here is undignified, or there's a lack of dignity, but it's particularly strong in Victoria. As I was walking past the court one day going back to my hotel, I walked past the Queen Victoria building, which was the hospital where I'd been born during the Depression. And I thought to myself, I didn't realise till I was walking past it, and it had then been closed. It's probably demolished by now.
A part of it's still standing.
Oh, is it? And I thought to myself, what a wonderful country. You know, that you could start off born to parents on the dole. There was a tremendous feeling, well, you know, and I'm lucky that I worked hard, but the system was there to support me. And even though I was a working class boy when I came to the bar, there's a tremendous sense that with all those disadvantages, I was born into a country where eventually there was no restraint. I remember one silk who must have forgotten I came from a state school, who said to me, you know, the trouble with the bar is they should never have let barristers from state schools to the bar. I didn't mention the fact that I'd come from a state school, nor that Guffield Barwick had. But I think that's the happiest moment, that the sort of lack of any limitation on what you can do if you're prepared to put the time into the study. You will be accepted. It's not like England. A solicitor in England said to me once, you know, you would have been lucky to have been a solicitor in England. And that's probably true in those days.
But now you can look back and say, but I did it and I made it.
That's exactly right. And it does give me a warm feeling despite all the setbacks and mistakes I made.
Ken Carruthers, it's been a great pleasure listening to you and talking to you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, and thank you for treating me so graciously.